Hello everyone, this is my book review on Event to Learn, Making Tinkering and Engineering in the Classroom. We'll start off with a little bit about the authors. There's two of them. The first one we'll go over is Sylvia Lebeau Martinez, which she has a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering from UCLA. And a Master's of Educational Technology from Pepperdine University. She spent 7 years at Davidson Associates, which is a software company where they develop math blasters and things like that, programs to use in education. She previously was vice president in development of Encore Software, which is another extension of where you'll be able to use PCs, internet, and things like that. So she's always been in the field of technology. She developed math.com where students can go and interact and get the help that they need on math problems. And currently she's the president of Generation Yes, which is a nonprofit organization that works with schools around the world to empower young people and help lead them into modern technology. Then we have Gary Stager. He has a PhD, so it's Dr. Gary Stager. He was working to help educators since 1982 on 6 continents. So he led professional development in the world's first laptop school. He's always been here to help educators figure out ways to introduce technology before we even got to the point that we are now. He played a major role in online education. He helped develop the tools that we're currently using. He's considered one of the leading experts in the world. He advocates for learning by doing. So the book's concept is making tinkering is learning. So that's one of his he advocates on that on a constant basis. So that's a part of why he wrote this book with Sylvia. Gene Pigment and Seymour Papert works also built up to this. So he was able to, Gene needed Seymour, and Seymour needed Gary. So they all were able to develop and build on top of each other. So the context in the of the review: one of the most important books of living in the 21st century. This book brings to the forefront learning through design by building and making items virtually and physically. So the book wants students to have hands-on activities. They want them to build, whether it's in a virtual world where they're designing things, kind of like games, how you might have a kid that is using Minecraft or Roblox and things like that. Those are the things that they want to introduce to the students so that they can learn by building and learning from their mistakes and developing more on top of that. My assessment of the book: this book offers a how-to guide for educators to bring tinkering, making, and engineering to the classroom and outside of the classroom. Tinkering, which is, of course, I stated was learning, how to choose projects. So it offers educators a way of how to choose projects for their classroom, and also helps students decide, offer them with an opportunity of how they want to bring their projects to the classroom. So once the educator knows what to do, they can offer their students that so that they can develop on how their students have control into their education. They want you to lecture less. It's more of you're giving your students a project. You let them build and develop and learn by their mistakes. They want to combine the old with the new. So before we had classes like wood shop and things like that. Now we can transfer over to a digital world where you can build a cabinet case in a virtual world rather than in the physical world. So you have to be able to combine the two, maybe design it on a computer screen through engineering, and then take it and actually build that project. So that's what it also is discussing on how to do. It includes a maker learning space. Excuse me. This is where the educator has a design in their classroom and make sure that their students are able to go there to make their designs, create their designs, whether it's digital or in a physical world. So that's something it tells the educators how to build in the classroom. One of the things that I got from the book is collaboration. It discusses how to foster students' leaderships where we allow the students to take control of their learning. This will help with management of time and how students will interact and learn from one another. It helps students learn how to depend on themselves and peers throughout the maker process. So rather than the students coming straight to the teacher or the educator at that point to how to do something, they're sitting in groups maybe and discussing, why is this not working? How is this working? And maybe solving the problem before it even gets to the teacher. It's helping them build on those communication skills and creating an environment where they don't feel ashamed to ask each other those type of questions. They're more open and willing to learn from one another. My judgment of the book is it's a must read for a 21st century educator. Bringing technology to the students regardless of their whereabouts is key. So whether they're in the classroom or outside of the classroom, we want to make sure that they have access to technology and how to have those learning spaces, those maker spaces, even at home, so that they can be able to continue to develop and build off of those skills. Truly offers and suggests how to incorporate learning by making, and provides dozens of ways of how to do it. So if you're one of those educators that are stuck and don't know how to get this going into your classroom, this is a book to read so that you can develop those skills, so that you can offer it to your students. I didn't really see any weaknesses in the book because it really helps you understand how engineering and tinkering and making a designer space works and how it can be successful for your students as well as educators once we're able to expose our students to things like that. So that's my presentation. Hopefully you received a lot of information about it. Hopefully that you can pick it up and read it yourself, but it's a must read in the 21st century.